Hello Capricorns, how you doing? Welcome to your 2025 Energy Tarot reading here on the Astroflower. We're going to be going into a lot of things today. It will be time-stamped. It's going to be a long one, so you're going to want to probably come back occasionally and listen to it. That's the reason we're time-stamping it. And you may want to use it as a reference throughout the year in regards to the elements of what's going on within your Astroflower. Okay, so we're going to be pulling some messages from the year. Then we're going to do a tarot reading. Then we're going to go into the energies and the rhythms of life, and what sort of energies we should be expecting over the next year through the universal system. And then we're going to be going through month by month and just seeing quickly where possible complications could be arising according to those elements and those energies. So you can be pre-warned and you can see where to push life and where not to push life, basically. Okay, so without further ado, let's just bring up your Astroflower. And here it is, here, our lovely Astroflower. So here it is here. Let's just see what's going on for you. This is your overall energies, your general energies for the year. And then you've got your karmic path on your relationship side, karmic path on your financial side. Then we're going to be doing it by seasons. So this is for the first 3 months of the year in a way. It's almost like winter period, as it were, in the northern hemisphere, and summer period in the southern hemisphere. And then we've got the next 3 months, so that'd be 4, 5, and 6 months, 7, 8, 9 months, 10, 11, 12 months, which brings us back up to your birthday season. Okay, we're going to be putting 2 cards on each section there to see what's really going on. See if we can get some sort of yin-yang side to things. Okay, so obviously we've got tomorrow night, we've got, if you're watching this pretty much the day it comes out, on the 19th of November, we've got the, we're going to do a live on the transition between Pluto going from Capricorn into Aquarius, and just seeing maybe what's going to be happening for the collective, over the next few years, where you can be there, ask some questions and what have you. Okay, so let's just, without further ado, let's just get on into this and see what's going on. So for your energy coming up for this whole year, and this is really, obviously, we're long periods of time, so this is the real sort of general sort of thing. There's a lot of celebration and a lot of celebration on your relationship side. It's like after quite a few years of being a bit unsettled in relationships. So some of them you might have been, you might have been in relationships that might have worked, that might not have worked, or your current relationship has been through difficult times if you're in a long-term relationship. And it's almost as if like everything sort of like is clicking and growing together, and there's a lot of expansion, a lot of joy, a lot of energy going on there. Absolutely beautiful. It's almost, like you get like a firework display and they do like a series of sort of like rockets that go as it goes across the sky, and you're getting at all that's running all the way through you. So this is not just on your future self or your past self. This is general. This is also about what you're experiencing, and it's a real celebration of life. That's what I feel like this coming year. Very good year for you, I think. Let's just see what's going on the financial side. A lot of results, and I get a lot of results as well within your personal life, not just on your business side, but also on your personal life, such as buying that home, or completing that mortgage on your home, or moving house to a house that's much better for you, or there's also like sorting things out in the physical plane that sits right with you as well. That's the sort of message I get sort of off of that. Excuse me. I've been fighting something off at the moment, and we can see, and we'll see this later on as well, about, because my main job is a healer. That's what I do as a daytime job. You know, I've been doing it for 25, 30 years. And I've seen loads and loads of people. It's been absolutely an amazing journey. Really, seriously, beautiful journey. And, you know, I've noticed as well, this is why I bought, you know, this is why I created the Astroflower, to give the people that come and see me a tool so they can sort of anticipate things. So prevention's always better than cure, basically. And so we might go into that a little bit later on as well, about the rhythms in life and what have you. But let's just see what's going on here for you. You get the Two of Swords on one side of the yin and yang of the situation. I think this is where you are clearly seeing everything from both sides. I think this is also comes through as a wisdom thing. The fact that Capricorns have been directly influenced over the past, 18 years, 16 years of Pluto and what have you. And I think we've understood a lot, learned a lot. It's been, for some people, it's been very difficult. For other people, it's been a breeze. But for a lot of people, I've noticed that it's been interesting. Let's put it that way. It's been really interesting. So I think this is all about you making a choice to live life. And within that, it gives you that luxury position of being the leader in your life, basically, and the leader in the life that is around you. And this is where I think it really does play well for you. And look at that. On the other side of it as well, you get the King of Pentacles, a Taurus card. But the King of Pentacles is all about knowledge and understanding. That's the power of the King of Pentacles. He knows how things work in the material world. He's studied a lot, you know, the King of Pentacles. And so he understands that. And I think that's where, you know, you're making the right choices this year. And before, you may have made the right choices in the past, but what might have come off was a case of, you might have made the right choices, but it's the world that wasn't ready for the choices that you'd made. That's what it feels like. You know, I don't want to excuse you, but at the same time, that's what it sort of feels like. Let's just see what's going on the sort of relationship side of things. On the karmic path here, I'm getting this sort of thing, like, it's almost as if like you've been looking at life through a picket fence. That's what I get. And it's like this picket fence is kind of being lifted and taken out of your life. And it's almost sort of like your karmic path is sort of saying, okay, now you've observed life, because that's what it feels like. You've been observing life over the past sort of like long time. And now you've been observing life. You should know pretty much how it sort of pans out. And if that's the case, if you know how it pans out, then you should be able to sort of like, then when you go out exploring, you shouldn't get that much wrong. You get the Queen of Wands on one side, absolutely beautiful energy, very, very vibrant energy going on there. And this is what I mean about, like, there's loads of things going on. It's like these loads of little sort of fireworks going off. She's holding one in her hand and she's concentrating on the here and now as well. And this is where you are going out and exploring life this year in regards to relationships. And it's on your karmic path to do that without having to worry about life coming in and just blocking you. That's what the big difference is this time round, this year, is all about. And you get the World card on your karmic path. This is all about exploring and understanding the world that is around you. Absolutely fantastic. Capricorn card, this card here. And it's got all the elements. And that's, we'll see later on, but that's what Capricorn's all about. Capricorn has a very balanced level of elements within their sign. So, you know, you have, it's pretty much 25% of each: fire, air, water, and earth within the Astroflower. And this sums it up beautifully. It's telling you in your karmic path, go out and explore and enjoy your world, you know, without the repercussions. I think that's what is freeing you up. I did a weekly reading, which was for this week here. It was kind of like, you know, it came from that Martin Luther thing. you know, God Almighty, we're free at last. And it feels like that this week anyway. But anyway, let's go into the first 3 months. This is talking January, February, March. This period here, within the relationship side, this is emotional sort of side. This could be also spiritual side. This is the first 3 months here where I would experiment, push boundaries a little bit, push on relationships. If you want to get involved with a relationship, then I think it's important for you to do so in the sense of exploring, the relationships that you want to be involved in. And I think you need to take a few risks here in this month here. And as I say, are they without consequences? Of course not, always. But at the same time, you'll get the rub of the green on your side of life more than anything else. You'll get the rub of the green for you. Okay, so yeah, I think this is a time for exploration. Get the King of Pentacles. This is where you are physically going out in the world. You've got the King of Pentacles twice now. Once on your overall energies and now on the first 3 months here. This is where I said, like, you know how it physically works. And this is where you should be exploring it this year in the first 3 months, really pushing boundaries through knowledge of how things work. So obviously, if you're nice to someone, they're going to be nice back to you. If you're not nice to them, they're probably not going to be nice to you back. And, you know, it's that sort of understanding that you can now push and try and feather your nest and explore. Yeah, you get the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I think it's work as well. Work on the spirit, work on the soul. This is also about, you know, being attentive to sort of the finer details, but doing some good quality connections with other people in a very, very physical way. And this is where I think you do need to explore and expand your horizons in regards to relationships, in regards to other people and so forth. I think it will come out really, really nice for you in those first 3 months. You'll be able to see how the land lies. And then going from, so we're going from April, May and June here. So April, May and June. It depends on how much you put out is what you're going to get it back. So basically, in this first 3 months here, I think if you're only planting 2 seeds of tomatoes, you know, at the maximum, you're only going to get 2 tomato plants. At the worst scenario, you're going to get none. At a mediocre one, you're going to get 1. So if you push the boundaries and you planted 20, you know you're going to be getting really roughly around about 10 good plants that comes through. And if you look after your seeds well and plant your seeds well, there's no reason why you can't get the whole 20. But what I'm saying is it's what you put in is what you get out. And this month here is, I think you're seeing results of what you've been putting out there. Look at that, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's. I think it's giving you a confirmation of the work that you're doing in the first 3 months. And it's going to help you to really build an emotional bond with others on very, very sort of on a very day-to-day basis, you know, and it's getting into a routine, getting into the connections with others that are around you. And you get the Four of Pentacles. So in these months here, so this is going through sort of, if you like, going through sort of Aries through to Cancer sort of scenario here. I think this is where you're now starting to streamline where you're putting out all your energies. And you're starting to put out in a way that is very good quality, but not quantity as in to the entire world. You're selecting the people or the relationships around you. So, you know, if you're going to drink wine, and I live in France, and obviously France and wine and everything like that goes hand in hand, really. You know what I mean? They have it for breakfast over here. It's terrible. And I don't drink a lot of it anymore. Obviously, when I was a young man, it was a bit of a different thing. But you know, I would very much move towards drinking a really good quality bottle of wine rather than drinking 2 or 3 bottles of okay wine. And I think this is what you know, you're refining a lot of things. This is what I think you're doing. And it's all pentacles, nothing but pentacles on your relationship side. Absolutely mad, really. But it's the way in which you're engaging in the world. And it's very much engaging in a physical thing, doing activities, going to concerts, going to see sports, or going to a gallery, or going to a theatre with people that really stick with you, really, and you know, you can really count upon them, and it makes for incredibly strong relationships between you and others that are around you. Well, love is in the air. So if you're looking for love, probably the best time to engage love, if you're looking for a new relationship and so forth, you're probably best off looking at July, August, September period. That's what it seems like. It seems like there's all of a sudden everything's fitting into place in the first 6 months. And it's like you've got this lovely routine, and now, you know, you want someone in your life. If you're looking for someone, if you are already with someone in a long-term relationship, in the first 6 months, it's trying things out, you know, communicating with your partner, saying, look, I'd like to do this. Would you like to do this as well? And there's some things that you're going to do with your partner, some things you're going to do by yourself or with other people that you enjoy in your life. And I think after 6 months, between the 6 and 9 month period in the relationship side, you're going to get some really beautiful returns to all of that. Playing smart. And it's because you've been playing smart here with the 7 of Swords. Some people equate the 7 of Swords with lying, cheating, scheming. I don't really that way. I'm not that way inclined, but I can understand it. Okay, and there is a sort of thing that's going on here that's sort of saying, with this sort of streamlining effect on your relationship side, it could be a case that some people may not necessarily like you getting the success in life, you know, but it's very minor, and it could only, you know, and I think it's going to be for very much the minority of people, of Capricorns. But for the majority, I think it's a case of you within the relationship side, you take off a lot of stress because you're being smart. You're playing smart about it. You're you're anticipating things. You're really getting into the idea of building solid relationships that you can trust, rather than just meeting up with everybody, you know. And you get the Page of Swords. This is the beautiful time of converting ideas into reality. So you're moving from earth energy into air energy. That's quite amazing, with the Page of Swords. And it is about ideas, and that's why you're playing smart. And I think this is where you can open some doors into meeting someone for the first time. But what I do here, I can't guarantee that you're going to meet someone. What I'm saying to you is that what you put out in the world, you can't control what everything comes into your world. You can only control what you put out there and how you engage with the energies and the people that are around you. And I think if you engage in this way, I think within the 3 to 9 months, you're going to get a lot of kudos coming your way. People are going to look at you and kind of going, Capricorn, I'd love to be with Capricorn. You know, not only are they very safe, secure, but also at the same time, they're open, they're exploring life, and you know, it's those sort of ideas that come to the fore. So what's going on between October, November, December? this sort of plays into your karmic path here. And I think this is like, there's a certain degree of evaluation of the past year going on, which is normal because that's in your autumn period of your energies. We'll look at that in a minute. But also at the same time, it's like sort of, there's this continual refining going on of, I've done all this work, I've explored all these ideas, now how can I refine it so I leave myself a bit of space to explore even more? And this may be a moment where you might well be committing to a relationship sort of thing. So you don't have to dance around anymore. You've committed to it, so you don't have to worry about it. And that will leave you the space to worry about other things. Don't worry, you'll have plenty of things to worry about. Yeah, streamlining things. As I said, here we got the Four of Cups here for you. Four of Cups is, you know, you've got these 3 cups here that are sort of spent, as it were. But you're building one cup that's, you know, that beautiful vibration that is within you more than anything else. And as you make this streamlining, you're opening up a whole new emotional engagement with life. By the looks of things, and an engagement in the way of, like, as I said, it's like a relationship. It's like, you know, you've done a lot of exploring of life, and now you're sort of committing maybe to a relationship, said, and it may have been here where you've had to wait around for a relationship, you know, for this person to get on board. It might have taken you a long time. Let's just see what the other card that comes out. You get the Empress. I think you're incredibly attractive at the moment, Capricorn. Incredibly attractive. The thing is with the Empress here, she sat on this cushion here that's in the shape of a heart. She has control over her emotions, and she's combining a lot of things through her emotions of living life. And this, you know, this sort of, it's almost like a magician card. It's almost like manifesting things by using, you know, you've got rocks in the background or ice in the background and so forth. You've got the water, you've got the waterfalls, you've got the forest, you've got all the air, you've got everything that comes out of that. As I said, it was playing into that, and it's making you incredibly attractive is in the world as regards to other people that are around you. And it's because you're being you more than anything else. That's what I get off of it. So let's just see what's going on your financial side. Let's see what's going on the karmic path there. Okay. You love creating ideas. So you love trying things out, seeing how it works. Business ideas, projects. This is also sort of buying houses and so forth. There's always something going on where you're trying to refine something and make it work more than anything else for you. And there's it's almost as if, like, this year here, as I said earlier on, there is no boundaries upon you anymore. There's no restrictions. And I wouldn't be surprised if you don't have certain things that come up on the surface in your life that, let's just say, before you had the idea of writing a book or something like that, and writing a book as a project, and you put it to one side because there was too many other things going on in your life, didn't have the time. And now it comes back on the surface and you can actually just zip it through. And I think this is where the karmic path is almost sort of saying, engage in your dreams of what you aspire to live within your material world and own it, obviously. King of Wands here, really owning your pathway. And I think this is also plays into the idea of what makes you smart and very attractive on your relationship side, because you seem to have got it going on the financial side. You're getting sort of results where, they're not being tailed off anymore. They're getting some consistent results for you. And you're saying goodbye to that woes and worries. This is why it's nice to pull 2 cards, because they get the yin and yang factor. If you look at the the King of Wands there in the background, he's got this lion, and that lion is all about his doubts are in his past. He's going off on his direction. He's taking life, this wand here, and really going to live life. And I think you're saying goodbye to all those repetitive nightmares that came out in Pluto years. Between 2008 and 2024, November the 19th to be precise. Yeah, I think you're saying goodbye to all of that. And it's your karmic path to own it. And knowing that life is not going to trip you up, as it were. Let's just see what's going on in the first 3 months. I get a lot of... this could be to do with houses, maybe. But I'm getting a lot of planks, people, nailing planks, building stuff with wooden nails. Wood and nails. It's like you're getting down to work. You're getting down to doing. You're getting down to implementing your plan. And this, it works really well. Getting and implementing that plan is certainly for January, February, and March. Do not procrastinate in these 3 months here. It may not work perfectly for you in this first 3 months, but at the same time, I think you can, if you look on this card here, she's looking out and she's sort of judging which wave to take. And in this month here, I think it's a case of just take a wave. It's going to flow in your direction no matter what. But I think it's a case of actually instigating it. And you get the Emperor card here as well. And the Emperor is fantastic because the Emperor has a control over his environment through the physical interaction. And that's how he controls his empire. Unlike the Empress. And you've got the Emperor and the Empress now. You're finding gradually, and I think it first comes out in the material world, but then it does flow through on the relationship side, where ultimately you are your own divine counterpart. And it's time to get on and do. Time to get on and implement that within life. Let's just see what's going on the next 3 months here for you. This seems to be, so we're looking at April, May, June here. It's not conflict. It's more sort of like you're explaining something. It's almost as if like you're getting on, you're doing, and therefore you have to go into a phase of communicating with the world around you about what you're doing. So if you're looking to do a project like writing a book, starting a restaurant, starting a business, YouTube channel, whatever it is, the first 3 months is just get on and do. And then after that comes this situation where there seems to be a communication or interaction with either with your customers or with people that are around you. It could be with your neighbors if you've moved in, you're building a house and you're moving in or something like that, or you're interacting with your neighbors as you're building. And I think explanation or communication is key here. It's going to help you to sort of explain a lot. It's help you to avoid future complications. But you do need to stick to your guns as well. This is where there is a certain degree of conflict that comes into this. I think you've got reason. I think it seems like that. It's not that the other person has not got reason, but it's just that maybe they haven't seen the world from your side as yet. And once you explain it to them, you can diffuse that problem within your workspace. It could be with a work colleague in your career path and so forth. But you are, you're standing your ground, and it's seeing what works here. So this is the Two of Pentacles. I don't think it's a choice. Yeah, there is a choice. There's an internal choice. I think you're revealing part of you as well to the outside world. And this could well be that whole sort of, you're running a business and you want to do it in a particular way. There's a communication to your clients or your customers about what you're doing and how you're projecting your business and how you're going forward. And that may need a bit of sort of like passion and drive and playing to the things that are working for you. And I think you've got to stand firm about it, and you're going to reveal a part of you because you've no longer got those restrictions. You're going to reveal a part of you that's really quite strong, really powerful. Lovers. You're revealing about your passion about what you're doing. So once you've started writing this book in the first 3 months, or doing that business, or doing that YouTube channel, or running that, going for that career path, all of a sudden, because of the choices you've made with this Two of Pentacles here, you're revealing a side to you that you didn't really know about because of the restrictions before in Pluto, or you may have forgotten about. And now you're remembering it and you're starting to apply it. You're actually feeling really in line with yourself. As I said, you're like your own divine counterpart at the moment this year. And there's no one can touch you, I don't think, in this coming year for you. And that Lovers card is all about sort of like, enjoying being the authority in a way of everything that is going on around you, within the world that is around you. So, yeah, I think it's a beautiful energy coming for you in the future, and it's setting you up into a really sort of powerful position. Going from July, August, September, this setup, and it's very similar to sort of like the relationship side in a way. This setup that's been happening in the first sort of 6 months of the year is now breeding a very good opportunity. It's almost as if like you're proving yourself and then you get a promotion, or you're proving your business and you opened up a little restaurant somewhere, it's working, and in this month's here you're kind of thinking, right, okay, I'm going to open up the second one now. And this is where you're really giving a direction to your career path, your business, your projects, whatever it is. You're really doing it in a way that's putting it, streamlining it, and giving it a real point more than anything else. You get the Six of Pentacles. You're doing, I say to everybody that the Six of Pentacles is about putting yourself first, but not necessarily putting yourself first at the detriment of others. That's not what it's about. It's putting yourself first so you're in a good place so you can help others. And I think this is where you've understood that much more than most other signs. And sometimes Capricorns can be perceived as being, sort of like selfish or egocentric. But it's not out of a nasty way. It's like it's putting on the other, it's putting on your mask on the aeroplane first before you help others put on their mask. So then you are okay, you're getting enough oxygen so you don't faint, so you can actually help others do that. And people will look at you and kind of go, oh, he's only concerned about himself. Well, it's only so I can help others a lot better. And that's why I think that's what's kicking in here at the moment. And you get the Three of Wands. It's time to go off. It's time to take it to the next level again. On these cards here, you can see in the background there's two boats. And this is like sort of like the obvious evident path that you should be taking is one of those two boats. Whichever sits right for you, but just take it. And take it because it's good for you. So if you're in a company and you get the opportunity to get promotion, so the people you're working with, the team that you're working with, you may become the team's boss. So that's going to change the relationships that you have with others that are around you. This is why the authority is being set up beforehand in the way that you feel absolutely right with who you are and what you're doing. So it's choosing that and going ahead and living it, but living it for all the right reasons. Let's just see what's going on in the October, November, December. It seems like now the cards are falling in your favor. And it's the restrictions that were in Pluto. Yes, they're out the way, but it's living that full year to actually recognize it. And I think you're recognizing it. Yeah, there you're getting your ascension moment. I think this comes in really in October, November, December. Be very attentive about this period of time here. There seems to be a massive opportunity. Certainly, I think it comes in within the July, August, September moment, but it really gets concrete within you in September, October, November, October, November, December, where you are arising. You're getting this ascension sort of situation going on for you. Really, really beautiful. Yeah, look at that. And then you get the Ace of Cups. I think this is like, it's like you're running. Okay, so this is the best way to describe it. Okay, because this is the oval thing. It's like you are running a race, let's say 100 meters, against someone who is 10 years old. You can obviously beat them if you're not 10, and obviously if you can run as well. If you can't run, then obviously no, you're not going to beat them. But if you can run, you're probably going to beat a 10-year-old, you know. And the thing is, you're not going to sort of like run and sort of like make the 10-year-old look stupid. The wisdom you have learned over the past 14, 16 years knows, and this is where the wisdom comes in from you. And this is the real ascension moment for you. It's like you're sort of saying, I'm going to win this race against this 10-year-old, but I'm not going to win it to humiliate the 10-year-old. We lost our Astroflower. It's coming back, don't worry. And it's not to eliminate the Astroflower, to eliminate the 10-year-old. Obviously, we can't eliminate the Astroflower. It's godsend. But it's to actually, you know, almost be like one of those runners that's a pace setter. And this is what's happening here in the end of the year on your financial side. You're becoming a pace setter. And this is playing beautifully into all that's happening on your relationship side. It's making you stand out and be an absolutely amazing catch. Okay? It's a very, very progressive year. And there's a lot of beautiful energies going on for you. But there's a lot of practicality within all of that. And it seems to be working for the first time in a long time. Things are really working for you in just within its own natural way. Let's go and have a look now at the elements and the energies that are going on and see how this sort of plays into this this reading here with all the elements that come through you. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the universal vibrations and see how those universal vibrations sort of feeds into you over the next coming year. And so we're going to be looking at solar cycles and obviously what's been going on for you. So here we have the sun over the part of November. It's actually, November's been a really good month to explain what goes on the earth. So this is just coming up here now, just waiting for it to reset. You'll see here the earth energy with the corona holes, which is really good for you. And then we get the big earth energy here. And I was talking in the weekly reading, if you haven't seen it, please do go and see it, about the earth energy breathing and consuming the air energy. Now that sort of consuming is pushing into the equator and is pushing a bit of pressure on the solar flares or the sunspots there. And the go-between has been that filament energy which we saw. And I think that sequence of the sun is going to be very repetitive over this year, simply because it's in the solar cycle, which we will be going in to see. And it's all about the ebbs and flows. So we're going to be looking at the rhythms and how these rhythms play in for you for this coming year. So let's just bring up the solar cycles. Okay. So here they have the solar cycles here. Let me just bring it up here. So here we have the solar cycle. Sorry about that. Going back for 100 years. Okay. And one thing you may well notice on these solar cycles is that it's all a bit messy here in this beginning of 900. Then we get one peak and then it gets a bit messy. Still a little bit messy on the third one here. And then we come into real sort of one peak wonders, as it were, that come out here more than anything else. So we get this sort of, it builds into this one peak wonders again here. And then it gets a little bit sort of devised into two rhythms. So you get two peaks going on after that. And that's been very significant within the last sort of 5 or 6 cycles. I think we're going to get a similar sort of one. This is the cycle we're going through at the moment. And these are solar cycles. So they take approximately around about 10.5 years to do on average. So sometimes they can be 11 and a half years. Sometimes they can be 9.5 years. But on average, they're around about 10.5 years long, where we go from a low cycle where there's not much going on in the way of eruptions in solar, what are they called? Solar flares. Yeah. And then we have a high section where we have a lot of solar flares. And we're going through that at the moment. I think we're going to go into a big peak. I think this peak is going to be pretty much over in December. And I think after that, it's going to tail off where, and we may get another little peak after that, which we got back in the 1970s. And this one here, there's this sort of like demi peak here that happened in 1972. For those of you born in 1972, you'll know why. There's a double peak here. And I think we're going to get a similar sort of thing going in here. And it's almost as if like it's what we've done there is going to invert and we will get the same again, going out the other way. But we might get a reduction in the solar flares that may be a bit lower in the future. But that's a long time in the future. It's not just for the coming year. Okay, so let's just have a look. If we bring the timeline down a little bit more, we can see these double peaks of what was happening. These are the last sort of 2.5 cycles. So cycle 23 is here. Cycle 22, is here. 23, 24, and this is the cycle 25. And you can see very clearly these double peaks here, and you can see very clearly the double peaks here on this one as well. And you can see it as well on this one here. It's a little bit messier, but you can vaguely sort of see it. And I think there's here, as you've had like a little peak here and this one here, and I think it's going to be waning away. Now, what happens with the energies going on here? Let me just pull it out so we've actually only got one cycle. It's going to be a lot easier to see. Let's just pick this cycle here for a laugh, going between 1986, I think, or something like that, 1986 and 1996. Here is where you get a lot of solar flares. Here is where you get a lot of coronal holes. Okay? And in between, this is where you get the filament energies seem to be very major on the cycle that's going on. So if we go to this cycle at the moment, let's just bring that up. Here, this is this cycle at the moment. This is cycle 2025. We've had that steady progression going up, and we've had a lot of activity. It's still peaking a little bit, but as I said, I think it's going to drop down after that. And this is why we're getting that filament energy. So this coming year, I think we're going to get, we're going to be seeing a lot more in the way of filament and coronal holes, because that's where we're heading towards, the corona hole energy. Water and earth is really good for you, okay? Because Capricorn, you're half goat, you're half fish. And this is all about learning about the essence of self in this coming year. The real essence of self, of how we engage in the world that is around us, okay? So see how this sort of ties in with the energy of yourself, your good self, of Capricorns, and the rhythm of Capricorns. Oh, hang on a second. That's So let's just have a look at the types of filament energies that we've been talking about on the energy, on the weekly readings and so forth, and the type of emotions that will be coming through. Here is a very, very controlled eruption, as you can well see. It does do quite a bit of ejecta, but no real sort of scarring, as you will see on the sun. There's nothing really fiery about it. And that's all about being controlled with your emotions from within, which I think, Capricorn, you're really, really good and able to do. Okay? There is other ones that are incredibly fiery. And this is what we can see here on this one here. So you can see this eruption of the filament energy as it comes through. Let's just see it. There it is. Sorry. And we can see this eruption here from this filament. There is a lot of ejecta that comes off of this one here. But look at all the scarring and the, the fiery energies that are also involved in that. And it depends on how it explodes. So this is why it's good to look at the sun. Good to see your weekly energy update. Good to see your weekly reading, because you'll know how these energies are playing through and what sort of emotions it's going to be driving in your sort of direction. And this will be according to what you can deal with, or where you put your time and effort and energies into what aspect of your life, either building your future in your financial world or creating your future in your financial world. So is it a good moment to create a business, or is it a good moment, or is it the moment to really start pushing your business, and so forth? So this comes down into the rhythms of you as well as Capricorn. Now this is the rhythms of the energies of Capricorn in accordance to the rhythms of the earth energies. So the red line and the yellow line, which you can well see here, the yellow line is a little bit more difficult to see. The yellow line, that is the beginning of Capricorn, and that's at the end of Capricorn season. So if you're born at the beginning part of Capricorn, you're more towards the yellow line. If you're born towards the end of Capricorn, you're more towards the red line, as it were. But you can see here on this yellow line, it sort of goes in line with this blue line that goes up here. Now that's the northern hemisphere energy, and the green line is the southern hemisphere. So for everyone, one thing you'll notice straight away, that the energies on the 21st of December, on the solstice, the energies in the northern hemisphere, they double in size. On the 21st of March, spring equinox, they go up by a third. They go up by the same increments each time. So let's just say it starts off with 12 meters wide, the energy line. On the 21st, that's between when it's at rest. Now that's in the autumn period. So it starts off at the baseline of 12. And at the 21st of December, it goes to 24. And then in the 21st of March, it goes to 36, and then to 48. And then it goes right back down. This section here goes right back down to 12. So we have the similar rhythms within us. And Capricorn, obviously, it's like Cancer for the southern hemisphere, but Capricorns for the northern hemisphere, Capricorns, we are pretty much in alignment with the energies of the earth. And this what makes us a little bit sort of safe as well in life. Okay? In the southern hemisphere, you get the same sort of energies going on, but it's opposite in a way. So as you come into your picking up, the energies of the earth are actually dropping down. And it gives you that space to explore life without being so pressured by the outside world. And as you gradually go through the year, it's like the energies are following behind you in a way. When they get to the height of their cycle during the summer period, in the southern period, in summer period in the southern hemisphere. So it's almost as if like you're being much more of a trailblazer if you're living in the southern hemisphere than you are in the northern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, yeah, you're going to be leading the pack, but you're going to be doing it as the rhythm goes through from the energies. So understand that when we get to that last 3 months before your birthday, your energy tends to sort of slow down a little bit. So this is where it's a good time to analyze what we've been doing over the past year. Okay, so in the first year, in the winter period, in this period here, this is the moment when you plant seeds. You get down and do your work, and we've seen that in your reading. In the spring period is the moment you start you've planted loads of seeds up, and you need to separate them. You need to give them a bit more space, so you need to get some stuff out. You need to do, I wouldn't say weeding, just thinning of the plants so then they can grow bigger. So then, separating, spacing of the plants. And then you can see that within relationships and so forth, where it's sort of like, you're streamlining a lot of things, in the physical sense. Not within the idea sense, but within the physical sense. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing in this period here. And in the third part is when you get to the summer. This is where you get the fruits of your labor really start paying off for you. And then it drops off again, and you get your autumn period where you're assessing what you've done for the past year and what you want to do in the coming year. So have that in mind over the year when you're going through that rhythm of life. Okay? Let's just have a look what's going on your flower, your Astroflower. So obviously you are a cardinal energy. You've got this cardinal earth that goes around the top of you and cardinal water that goes at your base. One thing you should notice is that there is a great deal amount of water within your sign. And you're actually a force sign like Gemini, like Cancer, like Sagittarius, and like Capricorn. You got more emotions in you even if it's only by a small amount, but you have more emotions in you than you do have physical earth energies. Okay, it's how you confront it with the world that makes it all that very earthy. So it's converting those emotions into reality. And that's what Pluto's been blocking over the past few years within you. And as you go through the year, so let's just have a look at that. As we go through the year, you can see as the elements that goes through behind you in the coming year that's behind you. Here we go, we're starting it off. And as it gradually goes through, you can see that certain elements are going to be trying you and certain elements are going to be playing with you, as it were. Okay, so we're going to be going through month for month and seeing how these sort of energies or these rhythms in life can sort of help you do the best. We're going to pull some cards on each of the months of where it is good for you and where it is not so good for you. As I say, all of this will be time-stamped. I know it's a lot of information and you will probably have to come back and, see parts as you go along. It's, but it's for the whole year, as it were. So let's just see, let's just pull your cards up and see what's going on for you within your elements. The elements here, everything sort of sits right for you because this is the Capricorn season and it's time to get on. It's January, it's time to play to your strengths. And we saw that in this here, in your relationship side, where you had the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles as well. And on your financial side, this is where we had the Emperor is now sort of taking control It is within your karmic path to do that on your financial side, taking control of the situation and actually starting to get on and do, as it were. But in that first 3 months, let's just move on to the next month after that, where we have Aquarius that comes into play here. Now, Aquarius is not that bad for you, really. It's all about getting on. The only thing that's really going to try you more than anything else is this karmic path here that spreads out into the rest. That's what it seems to be trying more than anything else. And a little bit of how you convert your past into your future, how you create your future. Because you have your water and fire there, and you have your water and fire there. Your mutable water that comes in from sort of Pisces. But then you have the Aries that coming through Pisces at the time is trying it with that cardinal fire. And on this side here, you get the mutable fire with the fixed waters. So I think those are the two that is going to be, trying you the most in that period there. Things that are going well for you is how you convert your passions for life into physical existence. So it's using that knowledge that you have in order to create your future. But it's playing into this sort of section here. Let's just pull a few cards on that. Let's put a couple of cards on seeing what's going on with that energy there. Oh, yeah. This is about you setting up a relationship with someone in your future self. And I think that's what ties into that sort of section there, really, later on in the month. Later on in the year. But here you have like you've got to see both sides. You get the in Aquarius period, you get on your emotional side, you get the hangman, so you've got to see things from both sides. And I think this is where you've got that capacity to do that. And it's what it's doing is actually bringing someone into alignment with yourself, I think, on your relationship side. And it's going to try your emotions like any relationship. And it's going to try your emotions, but I think you've got the capacity to deal with it. On your financial side, the devil card, you're owning it. This is all about you owning your pathway at the moment. This is that earth and fire energy that's running through you here, that's coming out of from within you. So basically you'll start saying, I want to live this within my personal life, and therefore my finances have to be like that. And this is where you'll start really getting into it. And look at that. You're starting to already open up the Two of Pentacles, which we see in the next 3 months after that. And you are owning your future here on your financial side. You are owning your future in Aquarius period here for you. And also you're opening up that idea of really building solid and defined relationships for you and other people that are around you. Okay, so let's just see what's going on in the next month after that. We go into Aries, Pisces season, sorry. Now, Pisces plays really well for you on most areas of life. So here we have Pisces. Here you have your fire, your mutable fire that comes in from Sagittarius, but it's also with fixed air. So that's fire and air is absolutely brilliant. You have this water and earth, which is fantastic. This is where you're really starting to build some sort of concrete sort of things. But this is why you've still got the Eight of Pentacles. There is still a bit of work to be done. And what you can see here on your karmic path, on your relationship side, is you've got that mixture of water within you and fire in the outside world. So it may be a case that someone's asking you to go a lot quicker in a relationship, and you're having to kind of go, whoa, 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 calm down, slow down. Let's just take our time. Let's make sure everything's in place. Okay? You get a similar sort of thing going on your financial side. And these are the two that don't, these are the two that may well cause you, and this is talking about your karmic past, so we're talking about long-term sort of goals here, more than anything else. And on your relationship side, You've got to use your intuition. Use your inner feelings here to, this is what I'm saying, is sort of like when someone's putting a bit of pressure on you, you've got to feel that energy to sort of emotionally kind of go, look, I'm relaxed. I'm not going to get frantic about it, but, you know, we need to take our time and take it easy. And this is what you're trying to build, lovers. And it's really building a relationship that is so solid, over the year. And it takes time, Capricorn. You know that, but they may not. And that's where you've got to sort of express it a lot more. On your financial side, you get the Temperance card. So now you've got the lovers that are playing out on both sides here as well. You get the, on your financial side, you get the Temperance, being patient. So this is where you've got fixed water in this section here against cardinal fire. So the world around you might be sort of going, come on. And emotionally, you're just kind of going, okay, yeah, no worries. I'm not going to get carried away. We've got to do this correctly. And it's very similar to what's going on the financial side. And because you're doing that, because you're setting up a certain degree of resistance to it all, you're creating a massive opportunity for you. But this is only planting the seed at the moment. And as you plant that seed, you've got to be patient that it's going to grow for you in the future. And I think that's what's happening when you get the Judgment card and the Ace of Cups out the top. You're gradually cultivating this for your future. Okay, let's just go on to the next month. So here we're moving from Pisces into Aries within your sign. Okay, obviously it's a fellow cardinal sign, so that does help out in multitudes of ways. Let me just play that backwards a little bit so I can just see, so we can see the elements. You do get this fire and water coming into your life quite a bit here. So you've got this mutable water that comes in during the Cancer season, which is playing on your mutable fire. So there's a playing around with your passions and your emotions in regards to your passions, allowing your emotions to be, I don't think tried and tested, but certainly explored, and put it into a little bit to the extreme. Also at the same time, you may feel that because you've got this cardinal, you've got this fixed air inside you with this fixed earth, you may feel that life is, sucking you dry in a way on your financial side, and it's demanding a lot of you. And this is why, you've got to stand your ground and be strong and firm about the sort of situation, because you do get this sort of like fixed water, which is from you, with fixed fire. And it's a real sort of like standoff with this with this cardinal water and cardinal fire as well on this sort of side. You have a similar sort of thing going on here, where you get this cardinal water on this side that comes in from you, and it's playing into the cardinal fire in Aries. So there's a lot of stress and strain in the March period in regards to emotions and the passions of life. Okay, so I just want to start. I want to put a thing on just on this sort of section here. I think this is going to be the most tricky month for you. Yeah, you've got to make decisions. You've got to start. This is where you're starting to decide what works for you. And as I said here, this is what comes out in this section here with the Four of Pentacles. You're starting to really make decisions about, who you really want in your life. What's this mutable energies that come through here? Because we can see that as well on this side here. With that mutable energies, you get the Queen of Wands. You get the Queen of Wands on your karmic path. I think this is you standing your ground on your relationship side. There is no doubt about it. You're standing your ground, and I think that's already been sort of set up for you in the first sort of like, in Pisces season. And now you're standing your ground. You're getting some good results. You're going to get the good results, but you've got to hold your nerve, Capricorn. Don't get bulldozed by the world that is around you. On your financial side, this is death and rebirth. This is going into this. This is the rebirth of you through choices you're making, and also sort of like being very square with your emotions within your financial world, not being emotionally caught up in the emotions of making money, but more of a case of, you know, standing firm to who you are within your emotions, and getting the results, getting the good results, because it's the start of this Ace of Cups that's going to really start motoring through now, even in this period here. And in that converting of the plans of what you want, which is up in this section here, where we get this mutable water and mutable fire, you get the Devil card again. You. And it's you being totally in control of your destination here. And it's a new lease of life. And I think this is where the lovers come into it. You just start really feeling that you have a complete and utter control over your destiny. And you're in the driving seat. And this is in the first sort of month of this sort of section here. Okay, so let's go on to the next section here, where we're going from Aries into Taurus. Now, obviously, Taurus is a fellow earth sign. And as you can well see here, let me just, actually, I'll tell you what, which will make it a lot easier for you to see. Let me just pull that up there so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you, but because the camera situation. But as you can well see, you can see that all the elements sort of fit together. They play together. Where the water is, there's water. Where there's earth, there's earth. Where there's air, there's air. In general, in general. The only places it doesn't tie in is on the this section here, which is just hang on a second, I need to turn my hand the other way. On these connections here with the outside world. And you get the connection of fire and water again, which is being going to try you a little bit. But all the rest of it, and you get the fire and water as well, really on the karmic path, on your financial side, on the connection to the universe, on your financial side as well. But that fire and water is going to try a little bit of your emotion. So this is why I think you get the Eight of Pentacles as well. This is a long-term thing we're talking about here. It's a real dramatic change in your life. And it's not just a change that you'll see over one day. It's a change that you're seeing over a whole year, more than anything else. On your financial side, on your relationship side, sorry, you get the Nine of Pentacles. It's going from the Eight of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles. Let me just bring that back up again so you can see your cards again. Here we go. Let me just bring those cards back up. So, you know, we've got this combination that's going on down here of the fire and water. Same thing that's going on here. And on your relationship side, this is what you're getting. So your connection to the outside world, you get the Nine of Pentacles. As I said, it goes on very well from the Eight of Pentacles that we got there. And I think this is where you are finally seeing the rewards that are coming through from the position that you are taking. And that's why you've been able to play smart on it. Let's just have a look what's going on the karmic path, on the relationship, on the financial side. Your karmic path now, you've set it up and you're now starting to move towards your victory. It's not there yet. Whatever you want to be doing. And this could be a victory in sort of like, I've been wanting to do a book for a long time and now I can finally do it. And on your connection to the universe, look at that, the devil. Now that's 3 times the devil's come up here. And this is on this connection here with this side here. Your victory is coming because you are being you. And I would stand your ground in the month of Taurus. Use that Taurus energy. Taurus has a really strong determination in Taurus. And you can use that strong determination in Taurus in order to get the best out of life for you more than anything else. And this is the decision you're making. You're revealing that aspect to you. As I said in the general reading, you're revealing that aspect of you that you didn't really notice before. And that's what's coming out and coming to the surface during the Taurus season. It's really turning you into a really powerful force. And I think that's ultimately, that's what's going to bring you that desirable thing, the desirable side of life within your relationship side. Okay, so let's just move it on now from Taurus season, where we start seeing the results in your relationship side, onto Gemini season. So here we have Gemini. Let me just also bring that up so you can see that a lot clearer. Hang on, there it is here. So where have we got the complicated situations? The main complicated situations seems to be on your connection to the rest of the world that is around you, on which is just here, just over there, on that section there, on that first petal there, where you get that your cardinal water being tried by mutable fire. You get a similar sort of thing that's right on the other side, on your financial side, being tried again, your water being tried again by mutable water. But you also get that on that side there, where it's connecting your past to your future, where you get your fixed water being tried by cardinal fire within your your connection to your past to your future, of getting projects on. It may be that, here is now we've converted from what we saw earlier in the last 3 months before that, the staying controlled in your emotions about what is going on around you. And now in this future self, it's happening in this section here, between these two here. So we've moved from here to here, and it's a real progression for you of how this year, the being utterly in control of your situation, and sort of seeing how that sort of like how that sort of, it's driven by the passionate world in the world around you. It's, you are setting the pace here more than anything else. We've also got this mutable and this fixed fire that comes through this sort of section here, on this section here. So it's like it's trying your nerves for the last time. So let's just put a few things on here. 8 of Pentacles again. Yeah, I still think there's work to be done. There's 3 times you've got the 8 of Pentacles out there. The first 6 months is all about putting things into action. Really are. And it comes back onto that, which we saw earlier on in the year. And this is where I think this is where you are creating a scenario where it's a really deep and profound relationship with another person. And it seems like the work is being done so you can finally move in with that person or take your couple to the next level and so forth. Really, really good for you. Let's see what's going on the financial side. Ace of Pentacles. We saw that earlier on as well, and how it's driving on the karmic path. And it's now starting to put it into place. And you're putting it into place for you. That's why that pentacle that comes out of this month here, that surprising pentacle, is that sort of opportunity that is now, you can almost see it bridging the brow of the hill. And this is where you've got to be absolutely patient about it all. And that's where you get the Hermit. So you get this whole idea of the Hermit knows both sides of the scenario. He's been up the mountain, and because he's been up the mountain, he's had to walk around the mountain. So sometimes he's going to be in the sunshine, sometimes he's going to be in the shade. So he knows about the yin and yang of life. And he has a great deal of wisdom. And it's applying your wisdom in the period of Gemini, so you can actually really put down some solid, and I mean really solid, foundations for your future. Okay, so let's move on to the next month. We're moving on from Gemini, and we're moving on to Cancer, which is obviously a very good sign for you. It's a water sign, but it's a false water sign. Let me just pull that back a little bit so you can see, it's just, I put it out of kilter so you can see it. And when you won't be able to see it just yet. There you go. You can now see it now. It's just pulled it slightly out of kilter so you can see the elements of Cancer. And this section here, where you have right on those crossing points where you get the 3 dots and on the other side you get the squares. If you see on that side, you know, you got water, you got air and fire, air and fire, air and fire. Water and earth, water and earth, water and earth. Every aspect of it all, and even down here on the cardinal energies, you get cardinal earth, air coming in with your cardinal fire. It's an incredibly productive month because you're just getting into the swing of things. You're moving into your summer period of your energetical cycle, which we saw earlier on. This is to do with the summer solstice. And with that summer solstice, you get a new lease of life in you, and everything seems to be playing within your favor. And I would really start pushing things and pushing this whole idea of, let me just back up the cards so you can see. It's pushing this whole idea of turning that two of Pentacles into that 6 of Pentacles, turning into what you love and choosing the pathway which you so want on your financial side. On your relationship side, it's now, after that hard work that you seem to be putting in place, you're putting into a lot of foundation. Now you're moving into exploring all those ideas, which allows you to play smart within your relationship side. And that's where you get the mutable earth and mutable water. So I would really play well with that. You know, let me just pull a few cards on the general sort of connection on your relationship side. Look at that, death and rebirth. This is that rebirth into that 4 of Wands, into that marriage sort of thing. There's a lot of evident pathway which you should be taking, and that comes with the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups for me is like, there's lots of options around, but when you look at all the options, there's only one path for you to take, and that's the path you should be taking. And that is that whole death and rebirth. It's a real juvenilization of your relationship side of life. Okay? And on your financial side, it's constantly coming back up, that ace of Pentacles. Don't tell me get the devil card. Oh, we don't get the devil card, we get the world card. You know, that is amazing for you as well at the same time. This is stepping into a whole new dimension. This comes with this. And this is like being very, very productive within your world around you. Really squared off, really clear for you. Incredibly productive and creating a great opportunity, a real massive opportunity of a life-changing opportunity, which I think comes at the end of next year. There's a lot of getting used to having life without Pluto in your sign. And then I've been talking about that quite a lot within the weekly readings. And I think this is where you're really starting to get to grips with that and starting to feel it for real, as it were. Okay, so let's move on to see what happens during the period of Leo. Period of Leo, we get this conflictual thing going on with fire and air, fire and water, which you can see that comes round from the financial side, comes down the mutable side with those 3 red dots there, and it comes into with that cardinal water playing on your fire, and then you get the water and air combination, which you can see on the lower section there of your karmic path. And so this is, putting into questions ideas. I think it's you putting into questions of ideas of the world around you. I think this year it's just you being really sort of stamping on what your own authority of what you should be experiencing and what the world should be experiencing with you, as it were. So I think this is where it plays on the idea of, how your emotions are being driven by the mental world, by the perception of the world around you. And I think you're sort of like, you're letting it roll with you. You get the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, as I said here, it's coming from there. It's you sort of like not taking any rubbish from the world around you. You're being very sort of straight with the amount of emotions that you need in your life and who you want and where you're putting your time, energy and emotions into other people. And you get the World card, you again. It's all about being you this year. It's all about being you. The gloves are off. And Capricorn is going out there and kicking the backsides of everybody that is around you. On your financial side, King of Cups. That's that fixed air and water that's coming through you. You're not going to be tried by the world around you. You know, you are going to be as cool as a cucumber because you've got the goal now. And you get the King of Swords as well. You've got great wisdom and great judgment on your financial side. And with that great wisdom and that great judgment, you are, you know, you're in touch with your emotions and you're cultivating that Ace of Pentacles, which is coming out the top more than anything, because you're being you and you are taking a unique direction that's following the evident path and following things as it works for you. And it's going to really work for you in an incredibly good way. Okay, let's go on and see what's happening during the... we're going to be moving into Virgo season. So we're coming back to another fellow Earth sign. Obviously, oh, hang on a second. I just went past it. Sorry, Virgos. There you go. Virgos, let's just have a quick see. I'll just let you see what's going on with the elements there. So, you know, with Earth signs, this is going to be so similar. You're going to get all that air that comes in. Let me just do it there. The air that comes in together at the crossing point, which is just on this section here, right at the top there, where you get your mutable fire and your fixed air. And you get everything that is in line here more than anything else. A really good time of year to get... I think this is where you really start... It's like you've got this opportunity that you can see in the distance and you're almost introducing it to the world. You're preempting it into the world. Look at that! Preempting it into the world. As I said about that, there you get the two now, the two Ace of Cups there on this side here with your Judgment card. Look at that. That's basically sums up your year. Really does sum up your year beautifully. You're bringing through where the Ace of Pentacles is now giving rise to the Ace of Cups. So we're into this sort of the last section of this or the midsection of the 3 months between August and September here, as we go into Libra season. But this is all of a sudden, this is where you're presenting that idea to the world. And look at that Judgment. What the blazes, Capricorn? What the blazes? This is a massive opportunity for you in the future. And it's starting to come to the surface during Virgo season. Be very attentive to that. Absolutely brilliant for you. This is because you're putting yourself first. It's making obvious which pathway you should be taking. There's no more any procrastinations. On your relationship side, I can't go over the financial side. Absolutely brilliant. On the relationship side, you get the Queen of Wands yet again. That's always been a repeating thing. And that's on your karmic path. So with the Well card, and we're moving into the Page of Swords. So I think this is where you need to be in the here and now and explore your passions and allow the magic of life to really kick in, because that's what's going to happen. As I said, this section here, I think this is ultimate love. This could be marriage here, and you could be really passionate about marrying this person, getting into them. It's a really incredibly solid relationship for you. An incredibly solid relationship for you as you go forward for the coming year. Within, August, September period, that's the time that's going to really, it's going to become incredibly noticeable. Very, very concrete for you. Very, very concrete for you. Wow, did I not show you the cards? Oh, I do apologise. I do apologise. My word, that's, it's all playing into that. You got basically that on your financial side. That's what's coming in this month here. You got the you get the Lovers card, no, you get the Two of Cups and the Two of Cups and the Queen of Wands on this side here, and it's playing into this here. It's you playing smart and having those ideas, and it's starting to make you incredibly attractive. not only by your partner or your future partner. You could be meeting your future partner in that period there, but it could be on a collective scale as well, that there's a real sort of like people are really up for you. So let's move into into Libra season. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my ducks in the row, as it were. Here we're moving into Libra season. Let me just pull up these cards, these elements here. Capricorn and Libra, they go well together because they have this earth. Libra has a lot of earth in their base, and it's a lot of ideas that you know how to convert for Libra. So Libra can have a lot of ideas that you know how to put them into action, as it were. So it's a good combination between the two of you. Now, there is certain elements that are a little bit more sort of complicated, more than anything else. A little bit more sort of complicated. You have this water and fire, which is just down there at the base again. You get the similar sort of thing right on the other side, on your financial side, in the world and connected to the world that is around you. You also get the water and fire, which creates a little bit of a problem, which is just up on that. It's on that section there, sorry, with the three little dots, and then you get the three little dots of it's almost inverted in a way for you with the Libra, and it's just sort of like, it's trying about how to get it into place. So Emperor card here. We're moving into September, October period. So this is sort of going between the Page of Swords and the let me just bring up your all your cards. You're playing in between the Page of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Empress card and the Four of Cups. Yeah, there may be a little bit of wrangling going on here, but it is a divine counterpart with someone else, an ultimate divine counterpart with someone else, and it's like a power couple, a real power couple. This is you bringing forth your plan and combining it with the plan of another person. That Two of Cups is what that's all about. So it sort of plays between the two. And that's why I needed to pull another card, the Lover's card. This is how you've got to position yourself. You've got to sort of say, look, we've got this foundation in place. We'd like to keep that foundation because it works. And it's going to make you and this other person, which is a real power couple, be incredibly strong. And it's a really profound relationship that you are creating with another person. Absolutely profound and beautiful for you. Let's just have a look what's going on the financial side. I collected the cards up as well. We may get them again. Let's just see. Let's just see what's going on the financial side. This is all about sort of like holding your nerve, I think, more than anything else. And because the opportunity is arriving, you don't want to snatch at it too quickly. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I think you need to be patient. Remember about that sort of like what happens in April, May, June. Remember what was happening in there and how you discovered that strength, that inner strength within you. And you get the Empress card. You had the Emperor over the other side. As I said, I think you are your own divine counterpart here. You're becoming this idea that you're presenting, this business that you're presenting, this career path that you're presenting is very much, very much becoming very attracted to others that are around you. And it's opening up a great deal of opportunities for you. Let's just go on to Scorpio season. So this is the next season that's coming up. So this is going from October through to November. We're really fully coming into this sort of section here. So the Ace of Cups with the Judgment card on your financial side, and the Empress and the Four of Cups on your relationship side. And with Scorpio, it's a water sign. So, things can really work well because you've got a lot of water within you. There's a lot of stimulation that you can sort of see up there, and the crossing point at the top, there's fire and air that mixes really well. The earth and water mixes really well in the other sections. Let me just put it up so I can see. The earth and water, so it's converting ideas into reality. It's an incredibly productive time for you. The only drawbacks that I can see is that fire and water, which you get at the very base there. The fire and water is your connection with the world that is around you. But the rest of it, it does sit very, very nice for you. There may be sort of also complications within on your karmic path, on your financial side, of how you get these ideas to emotionally fit with you. This idea of this Ace of Cups, this is where you're bringing it to the fore. Okay, so let's just see what we got in the way of cards that come out for you in this sort of section here. Let's just see what goes on for this month here. On your relationship side, sunshine, happiness. I think this is where you are becoming incredibly attractive. You're finally streamlining things down to that one cup there, both in your relationship side as much as in your financial side. And it just breeds absolute beautiful for you. And look at that, you get the Queen of Wands again. And this is about, because you've been concentrating on the here and now, you're enjoying it, you've been very sociable, the magic of life is starting to happen for you. And this is where you can really use that fire within you in order to get what you want. On your financial side, are you ready? Are you ready? You get the Star card. This is the Ascension moment. The Ascension moment looks like it's really, it's recognizable in sort of what was it, Virgo and Libra season, where you're starting to recognize it. It's really starting to become very clear for you, and now you're really reaching for the stars. And look at that. On your financial side, it is just pure bliss, an amazing time for you to have financially this year. On your career path or your business, whatever it is, reach for the stars, out with the old. This is where the job comes in, the promotion comes in, or the big contract comes in for your financial side during Scorpio season. Absolutely brilliant for you, really, more than anything else. Let's go into the last season and see what's happening there. We've got now into Sagittarius season, and let's just see what's going on here. We've got the bring it up here. There's things that don't work, like with every time of life. There's, it's not always easy. There's a lot of work for you, by the way, Capricorn, this year. There's a lot of work for you. You can see in the crossing point above there, you have like fire and water, so it's a little bit trying for you. You also have the air and earth as well in the crossing point right at the top there. And I think this is where you're making assessments, you're making adjustments and so forth. But I actually think here is that now the emotions are starting to come through from what you've been setting up. The emotions are starting to come through. And on your financial side is actually a really good combination between water and fire, because you can have good combinations between the two. I don't think it's really tricky for you. I think there's a consistency within the emotions, and it's now you playing with the passions in order to get that consistency out of it. And that's what you're looking for. The ultimate goal of that. That's where it's really going to come so true to you. So let's have a look on that sort of side. 7, cultivating this idea. Going from the 6 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles to the 7 of Pentacles. You're cultivating this idea. You get this promotion, and now you're cultivating your place. Or your business, you open your business and you start cultivating your business. But whatever it is being very secure and sound about the situation, converting emotional ideas into reality, and being very cool as a cucumber about it. And where will that idea take you? To the King of Wands. It's bringing you totally back to your karmic path, basically, on your relationship, on your financial side. It's ultimately bringing you to great success. And you are in complete control. You're in complete control of what you can do. And then you get the Four of Cups there at the top. I think this is where you're finally streamlining things, and maybe getting married, and really putting all your joy into one thing. But being patient about the world, maybe. Where did we have the Temperance? Did we have the Temperance? No, it was on the other bit of the reading earlier on. It's streamlining things and really putting your you seem to be concentrating on one sort of relationship here, and being patient with the world around you. I think more than anything else, it's almost as if like you've decided to go into this relationship and you're getting married, or you're moving in, or you as a couple you've decided to have a child, and the reaction from the world around you is a little bit, oh, so you've got to be patient with the entire world that is around you, rather than being patient from within you. And it's streamlining things into a really beautiful energy and a beautiful way of being for you and that couple. I think it's going to be a really strong couple between you. Absolutely blinding. Really beautiful time for you. There you go, Capricorn. I said it was going to be a long one, and it has been. It will all be time-stamped in the description. Yes. Thanking you very much for all the support you give to this channel. Really do appreciate it. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.